Hi, I'm Hayley Quinn, and today for you I'm bringing a social experiment that I've wanted to do for literally forever. Growing up with brunette, unruly hair, I've always wanted to know what it would be like living life as a beautiful blonde. So today I'm going to be filming blonde versus brunette, in which I'll be doing three social experiments, seeing really how do men react to me differently, whether I'm a blonde or a brunette. One of them that we're going to be doing is a chivalry test, which means I'm going to be dropping an object probably in front of a bunch of builders and seeing if their response differs, if someone helps me out, if someone picks it up, whether I'm a blonde or a brunette. Secondly, my dear friend Ollie is going to be interviewing strangers, asking if they would go out with me and what kind of job they think I do, again based on hair colour. And finally, I'm going to be logging on to Tinder and seeing what kind of responses I get as a blonde or as a brunette. So this is also fulfilling my childhood fantasy. I get to work out whether life would have been very different for me had I been born with beautiful blonde hair, and we get to answer that age-old question, do guys like blondes or brunettes better? So the first experiment that I'm going to do to first see whether blonde wins out over brunette is a chivalry test. So before we do a straight up interview to bystanders about whether they think I'm hot or not, I'm going to literally walk past building sites, once as a brunette, once as a blonde, and drop my scarf and see how guys react. And I've been wandering around today, and I swear for a woman, I have never been so happy to see a set of builders. I'm going to see how they respond to me. I'm going to see if they give me my scarf back, and if their response changes, whether I'm a brunette or a blonde. Oh my God.
You dropped your scarf.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, well, I lifted you up and carried you up.
It's good to know there's a real gentleman around. I like that. I like that. Another time, maybe. Another time.
I'll make sure he lays standing.
Okay. Oh, that's going to make me want to go back.
I'll get another bucket of water.
There's some heels on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've got some big ones on today, actually, so I'll be all right. See you soon, guys. Okay. Bye. Holy cow, that was so much chivalry. I don't think I've experienced that. Okay, builder style chivalry, but still chivalry. They were offering to like lie down, to help me across the puddle, bear me across the water. My scarf was picked up instantaneously. As a brunette, I did pretty well then with those guys. So in a blonde wig, there's gonna have to go a long way to top that.
Blondie. Oh, you dropped something. Oh, you want your scarf back? Here's your scarf. Nice hair.
Okay, that was brilliant because I did get engaged with immediately, and I think they're enthusiastic to leave my scarf back. And brilliantly, how did they engage with me? Oi, blondie. So there you go. I would say that people are more chivalrous towards brunettes. They're a little bit more tentative, they're a little bit more gentlemanly. The blonde is obvious, and that's what I get, a big whack of blondiness. I might wear this for a laugh, by the way, because I think I'm getting checked out quite a lot here. But for the magic of the camera, happy days. I love being a brunette. It's easier and nicer, but if you want to go blonde, we can definitely say blondes might not have more fun, but they definitely get noticed more, they'll definitely get approached more, and they'll definitely get judged more.
I just wanted to ask you what you thought of her. So the survey is basically about black-haired people versus blondes, just to see what the difference is and see what the reactions are.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Do you think she's attractive? Like, what would you say?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. If I sort of gave you a kind of like a mark out of 10, 10 being the best and 1 not being so good, where would you put her?
I would give her about a 9 because her eyes are beautiful.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And if you were on Tinder and you're free, and you might be on Tinder, I guess.
No, I've never even used that before.
Okay, that's cool, honest opinions. But if it's like, if you're swiping right, I think is the right way to go to say yes on Tinder, would you say yes?
Yes, 100%.
Would like, let's say for example, she was to maybe change her hair colour or something else was to happen, would that make a difference in terms of how attractive you find her?
I think it's difficult to say. I think once you know a person, those kind of things can enhance things just because they make a difference, a bit of a change, like when you're in a long-term relationship. But I have no idea when a first initial impact.
Yeah. But the sort of initial attraction and chemistry that you get with someone, does that make any kind of difference?
Could I think about glasses or makeup or of course
Yeah.
it would.
What is it like feature-wise that you find really attractive about her?
I don't know. I think the face is the first thing, but it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't necessarily identify any features. I guess it's symmetry.
Yeah.
As the research seems to suggest, and I think that's probably what it is.
Okay.
It's not necessarily something
Awesome.
you can explain.
If her hair was, let's say, blonde, for example, if you can imagine that now, what sort of a difference might that make?
No, I don't think that would work for her.
Oh, you don't think it'd work?
No. Not
Would you
for
be
her.
less attracted to her?
Yes.
Why?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just don't think it works for her.
Okay, awesome. Do you think blonde hair sort of makes it a bit more artificial, or what's the...
Potentially if it was dyed, yeah. Depends on the person. I mean, I guess it either suits you or it sort of doesn't, to be honest.
Okay, that's really interesting. So we've been walking up to random guys in the street, some guys that are married, some guys that are single.
Some in friendship pairs, right. And amazingly, they've all been extremely happy to rate me on my physical appearance.
No.
None of them have even flinched, have they? Like every single guy, literally, this is so rare for us doing these videos. Every single guy that you've approached has been straight up, very willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
And what does the survey say, Ollie?
No hesitation. And do you know what's really interesting is that, well, there's a couple of amazing ego boosts for Hayley that come out as a brunette. So she could be a model, she could be this. We were doing ratings out of 10, which was interesting. So she got
Yeah.
some very high ratings as a brunette.
I think I've got a 75%
Yeah.
approval standard, which I was like, are you kidding me, guys?
So we've got this theory going down. Me and Hayley have got this theory about how this could possibly be a kind of natural thing, and natural could be more interesting. But could it be down to people being married as opposed to not
'cause
single?
we think that people are going to be. I personally think that the answers guys have been giving, the guys that are married or in relationships, I think they're being more conservative, and I think the single guys are a bit more like whoa and up for it.
Yeah.
However, how do you think this is going to change? Because did any of them say anything about me being a blonde, whether
God.
they prefer it?
Super interesting. So the blonde stuff kind of came up in conversation, and when people think about Hayley and they looked across and she was about 4 meters away and they were thinking, as opposed to a brunette, she's a blonde, and they were less attracted by the idea of Hayley being a blonde.
Right.
They looked at it, less natural, couldn't really put their fingers on it, but it was a natural instinct to go, this
Definitely
is
no.
less attractive. And also, especially if it's dyed blonde hair.
Okay.
Don't
Right.
do dyed blonde hair.
Okay, so
Don't
what
do
are we
blonde.
thinking? So I'm going to put a blonde wig on now, and we're going to do the same experiment. Which way do we think it's going to go? I think I'm going to be less attractive.
Yes.
I think I'm setting myself up for my approval rating going down.
Right, so as long as Hayley has the same mannerisms, she doesn't start smiling or start adding to it at all, which should be all good, then we think that the blonde is going to go down.
And we're going to go
down a
downhill.
notch and a step.
Exactly.
Let's see how this goes. My friend Hayley is across here. She can't hear us, so I just wondered, how attractive do you find her?
She's very attractive.
Okay.
I've got nothing more to back that up.
No. But like, is there anything that sort of hits you and you think, oh, that's why she might be attractive? Any?
I mean, I mean, I'm not sure if it is something that's definable. There are, like you say, sort of like lots of different categories you could use, like say looks, style, or whatever. But sometimes people just have, what is it, like the je ne sais quoi or something undefinable that you just react. You don't know. All of a sudden, you can't take your eyes off a particular person. Whatever it's they're doing, their movements, it's just intriguing.
That's really cool. I like that. Good qualities, bad qualities that she's got. Like, what would you say you like about her? What do you not like so much? Just being super honest, she can't even hear us, so it's just there.
Oh, it's too much blonde hair, it seems. Too much blonde hair and a bit thin.
Too much blonde hair. Okay.
And a bit thin.
What does that do? Like having the blonde hair. What difference does that make?
I just feel it just looks a bit too much, like too much. It's a bit
Okay.
much.
That's nice to know. And so, what if we changed her appearance slightly and we, gave her dark hair, for example?
I don't know. I think, like, especially with women, like, any woman can probably look beautiful if you gave her, like, makeup and what all celebrities do now.
But if we changed her hair to, be dark hair, what difference would that make? Or to be a bit less than it was, basically?
I don't know, make her look less fake, I guess. Less dolled up.
So she looks a bit fake now, really.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Like, I know quite a lot of guys like that look, but some guys don't.
While we were filming, or just in between filming, this amazing man, Johnny, came up completely naturally to Hayley and basically introduced himself and said hi, and it's just it's amazing to.
And it's like literally never, ever, 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 ever happens to me. I'm actually quite shy.
I don't believe it never happens to you, but okay.
It genuinely never, ever, ever, ever. I might just never. If it was on Tinder, then yes, maybe, but like never in real life. So it was just a funny scenario.
Yeah, complete coincidence. Why did you tell us why you came up to Hayley and said hello? What made you have you conditioned yourself to just say?
You know, it's something I do once in a while. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, to go up and talk to a complete stranger in broad daylight, but you know, I think it's good to take a little risk now and then, and I think as a guy you have to be able to put yourself out there a little bit. So it's not an easy thing to do, but
so many attractive qualities, doesn't it?
It's really interesting as well. This like guy's openness and ability to just go up and just say hello.
Yeah.
Hunter-gatherer type thing.
Hunter-gathering. But anyway, it was.
Like you say, yeah, it's hunter-gatherer is an interesting phrase to use, because I think as guys we are expected to be a hunter a little bit. We are expected to kind of make the first move. So you have to be able to put yourself out there a little bit as a guy.
That was really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't believe I got chatted up in a blonde wig. I wasn't joking. I never get chatted up. That's so random. And
Amazing.
to have it done within like 20 minutes of me having a ridiculous wig on was interesting, right?
That's awesome. So while we're doing this and while we're looking for other people to do this amazing survey about blonde hair, dark hair, Hayley gets chatted up by a guy that comes up to her and goes, I really like the blonde hair. And there might have been some other stuff, some leather jacket stuff.
Well, the first thing he said to me, which obviously I was off camera at the time, he was like, what a striking tall blonde. That's what got him.
Awesome.
Brilliant. I was like, I couldn't have paid you to say that. Also, I have been noticing genuinely as I'm looking around, I am getting checked out more as a blonde. However, there's a caveat to this, right?
Yeah.
What does your survey say?
So we've got this kind of ongoing balance, right? So some of this may be down to confidence or it's just completely subjective, but the blonde seems to be a kind of striking look that people look at and they either love it or get put off by it.
Right.
And it's a completely subjective thing. So maybe from what we've seen, the slightly shyer guys are kind of, I'm not so sure, it could be a bit more natural. Actually, there was one confident guy as well over there who was like, look, this just isn't as natural as I'd like it to be as well. But other people are completely going for it and even walking up to Hayley and
organically,
saying,
and
hey.
I've gone up to basically some of them are like, nah, it doesn't look that good, it doesn't look that natural, it's a bit OTT. Others are like, she's a 10 out of 10 and are walking up to me in the street. So the blonde is a real, it's making people go one way or the other, right? They're
really
either totally
divides.
put off or well into it. Whilst the brunette was much more consistent in terms of the response I was getting, right? Solid 7 or 8 out of 10 versus 10 or a 2.
Yeah,
so
totally. Do you want to pull that off?
Crazy. Yeah. So let's get. Oh no, I can't get this thing off my head. Can I?
You can't reveal the magic right now.
I can't reveal
Can you
the
reveal
magic because I've got to go past another set of builders.
We can't
first.
reveal the magic just yet, but soon. Soon we can take it off. But there's like this amazing naturalness when Hayley is a brunette and people are really clear whether they're married, whether they're single or otherwise, and it's consistent. And they really like her for being brunette and it's clearly attractive. Whereas the blonde is like up the scale can be really, really high or I'm put off. So it completely divides.
So I think what we've said in this
opinion.
section of blonde versus brunette is it's like brunette for consistency, blonde 50% hell yeah, 50% hell no.
Yeah, blonde bombshell. You guys decide.
So if you like awesome, funny little weird social experiments, you must subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And also if you want more videos, please check out hayleyquinn.com. I've got a membership area there where I keep tons more awesome content. And I also want to hear your suggestions. What do you think about blondes versus brunettes? Are brunettes more sultry? Are blondes more sexy? Put your opinions down. Who do you prefer and what do you prefer me as and why?